Hi, and welcome back to Off-Grid Style. I'm Nikki, and today we are discussing the top 10 skills you need to have in another Great Depression. And how close are we to a total economic collapse? We're pretty close. Unfortunately, in December of 22, Bloomberg came out and said that we have a 70% chance of going into an honest-to-goodness depression by the end of 2023. It will most likely be caused by economic global relations, or the lack thereof, that deteriorate to the point of all-out warfare. Just to give you a little bit more history on the last Great Depression and what we could be facing if we are hit with one, the turkey and deer populations were decimated during the Great Depression in the 1929, 1930 and on. They just now, almost 100 years later, have reached close to their levels that they were at as far as the amount of deer and turkey just recently. Now, you may say, oh, well, I'm fine. I can hunt for my food. Well, sure you can. Problem is that you've got more people, more hunters, and the deer have not grown any more with our population. They're barely back to the 1930 levels. So you're going to run out of food really, really quick if that's your attitude. Learning how to budget your money and practice good financial management is something you should do all the time anyway. Learn how to budget your money, stick to it, place a percentage of your earnings into savings, whether it's cash under your mattress, gold, silver, a savings account, CD, whatever the case might be. Forget about that money. Just, it's not there anymore. It is there in case of a dire situation like a Great Depression. Frugal living. This is a big issue for Americans in particular. We love our credit. Stop living on credit. Pay off your bills. It may take you a couple years, but pay off your bills. First of all, I can't tell you the relief you have in knowing that you're not dependent on a particular job to make a living to pay the loans that you have. Consider your needs and wants. What does that mean? Okay. When you look to purchase something, do you need it or do you just want it? Wanting is usually when you impulse buy. Needing is when you budget for it, you think about it, you review, you investigate, you find out what's going to work best for you. So pay attention to those needs versus wants. Set goals. Create steps to get to those goals. Prioritize. As an example, new clothes or a new deck. This is a book that I do every year, and it's a planner. And it lets me decide what my goals are for that year, and then it breaks it down step by step for each goal, what I need to do each week, each month, each quarter to get to that goal I want to reach at the end of the year. Also push me towards my 3-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, etc. It's an amazing book. I do it every year. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's not, and it keeps you focused. Resourcefulness. Start thinking outside the box when it comes to solutions to your issues, problems, whatever the case might be. Stop thinking that buying something or paying someone is your first step to a solution. It should be the last one. The very last thing you should do is have to take money out of your pocket to give to someone or buy something. The first thing you should do is brainstorm ideas on how you can fix this issue without paying somebody else. Repurpose and reuse. Learn to cook. I know I've said this before in other videos, and people go, oh, I know how to cook. Really? Do you know how to cook without a microwave? Do you know how to make your own bread from scratch? Make your own pasta from scratch? Do you know how to make your own applesauce, your own apple cider vinegar? Learn to cook. Start a recipe book with notes on what you've done, what worked, what didn't, how you fixed it, whatever you happen to do with your learning. Learn how to cook from scratch. Take it back to those days when that's all people could do and there wasn't a microwave. Learn to dehydrate. You can do that in the oven. As you can see here, I've got a picture on the video of opening up an oven just a little bit. This is good for herbs and lighter things. You can go ahead and turn your oven on, let it get to about 150 degrees, shut it off, and put your items into the oven, crack the door a little bit, and they will dehydrate pretty well and pretty quickly. Sun, you can do it in the sun. I can't do it much here because of the southeast, too much humidity, but for those of you who don't have as much humidity, definitely the sun. And a dehydrator. If you don't have one, think about buying one because they are extremely useful in many, many ways. Canning, watch videos, buy a book. I am a huge one for having a hard copy book in case we don't have access to Google anymore. You'll avoid waste and you'll learn some valuable skills. Gardening and basic farming. Grow your own food. Learn what works in your area, what soil, and what to plant and when for your zone. Basic farming. Chickens, rabbits, cows, pigs. Okay, right now maybe you're living in an apartment and you cannot grow anything much, but you can do container gardening. And you really can't have chickens and pigs and all that stuff. Learn about it. Doesn't have to be something that you are right there on. Buy books. Keep them. Read them. Learn about it. You can take courses online. You also have government agencies like the Department of Agriculture who will teach you these things. They're happy to, and it's free. Learn how to repair and maintain basic items inside and around your house. YouTube videos are great for this, so start learning this now. Change your oil yourself in your own yard equipment. There's no reason why you can't. Learn basic plumbing and carpentry. There's a photo here of my new deck that I built. Tom held the wood for me. The old one was rotting. I ripped it all out and built a new one. It's just one of those things I've had to learn, living in, especially in a wood house. There's our water heater that we installed ourselves. No reason why you can't learn how to do that. Also, build up a good selection of tools and take care of them. Learn how to barter and trade with what you have, be it skills, products like food, extra items like tools, equipment, clothing, knowledge. What have you learned that you can use to barter with? And also learn to negotiate. We have a great video, by the way, on bartering on our channel. If you'd like to hit the subscribe button, then you definitely will be able to go look at our channel, find us real quick, and see those videos. Self-sufficiency skills. We should all have these anyway. Learn how to sew, man or woman, by hand and by machine, if you have one. If you don't have one, then at least learn how to fix basic, simple repairs like sewing a button back on or sewing a patch onto a pair of pants or a shirt. Also, repurpose. Learn how to repurpose. That's how they used to make patchwork quilts. So there's something right there that's really easy to do, and just cutting them up into little pieces and making yourself a quilt. Does take a long time though if you do it by hand. Learn how to make fire as many ways as you can and practice it. Learn how to use hunting gear. In particular, I'm going to use the example of a bow and arrow. Learn how to actually use a bow and arrow, because there may be times that you need to be quiet in your hunting. Practice, 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 practice. Learn first aid. OSHA actually offers a class in first aid. Buy books, have handy books, actual in hard copy or whatever you want to call it, books, not something online, not on your Kindle. Have actual hard copies of the books. I can't emphasize this enough. Stock a first aid kit, and we also have a video on an amazing first aid kit that you build yourself. We have that video if you want to check that out as well. How to make it, learn your herbal stuff. You've got to start studying that too. How to make simple infusions, which is kind of like a tea, but you use herbs instead of tea leaves. That's, you know, all of this is herbs, and there's a whole bunch more up there and all kinds of other stuff. How to make tinctures. I will be doing some videos on remedies that are herbal and how to make them, and also the books you need, the ones I found help the most, soon. So pay attention and look for that. Community building. This is a huge one, not just for, and actually everything I've talked about is not just for a Great Depression, if we have another one soon. This is actually every day, all day. This is what preppers do. This is what off-grid people do. Strengthen your connections in your community with your neighbors and with other locals. Share resources. Again, barter, trade, all those fun things. Support each other. Work together on solutions. That's how you build communities. Being prepared in a depression or for a depression is valuable no matter what, whether an actual depression does occur or we just simply stay in a recession. You will have valuable skills that transfer across many, many, many other issues and SHTF situations, and it can help you in any challenging times. I hope you liked the video. Please feel free to subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell. Let me know how you felt about what I had to say. If you have any other suggestions, didn't like something I said, loved something I said, tell me hello, whatever the case might be. Thank you.